I don't want black excellence. Why can't excellence mean taking a nap because I sent one email and I'm tired, so I'm taking a nap? Because the fact that I'm even alive, hold on, the fact that any black person is even alive is a testament to our excellence. Hey everyone, I'm Deanna, and this is Jackie. Welcome to Glow and Peace. So today we're going to discuss the burden of black excellence. So what does black excellence mean? It is a term or phrase that represents both a mindset and a series of actions that are capable of celebrating or upholding the black community and celebrating black achievements while acknowledging all the challenges blacks face while trying to achieve. And it is often used when celebrating the achievements of black people within the American community. I'm going to be referencing The Good and Bad of Black Excellence by Nicholas Adelaide or Adelaide. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. I should know better. He's a Brown University student, and this is for his class. So this is where I'm getting the definition and discussing an article of his. So, is black excellence a flawed phrase? Well, according to Brown University student Nicholas Adelaide's article, The Good and Bad of Black Excellence, he states that the term of black excellence is more or less limiting as it frames achievements other races would consider ordinary as outside of the norm, thus extraordinary and excellent. Using college as the example, he discussed some statistics showing that 42% of white students aged 18 to 24 were enrolled in college in 2013 compared to 34% of black and Hispanic students that age, according to the U.S. Department of Education. With these statistics in mind, it seems reasonable to equate a black individual getting into college to excellence, as it is clear that people of color entering higher education has yet to become a normality in American society. However, just because it isn't the norm doesn't mean that we shouldn't treat it as such. When we call achievements such as enrolling in college excellent, it creates a distinction by implying that this is excellent behavior or this is an achievement only created by excellent people of color, as opposed to this being normal behavior accomplishable by any black person. In essence, while the term black excellence intends to highlight black achievements, it can be seen that a non-black person's normal is equal to a black person's best. So, being black is subjective. Okay, let me explain. Black Twitter is a prime example of the internalization of limiting ourselves as black people. Because there are unwritten rules of what a black person should be and should be seen as, black people tend to exclude black people who do not meet the standards of blackness and hence black excellence. Now, if you notice something, as I'll go on to say, white people have a great range from white supremacist to cultural appropriator. And when it comes time to it, even so-called allies, they all see themselves as white. They identify as white. They don't say, "Oh, you don't act white. You don't sound white," because whiteness, race is a social construct. But so whiteness in any kind of race is a social construct, but it is also an identity, and they see themselves as white no matter what they do, or no matter what their interests are. If it's KKK things, or if it's just cornrows and box braids, whatever, it could be there's a wide spectrum of what it could mean to be white, and they don't limit themselves as white people, because at the end of the day, they are white. But we do that as black people. because we have been confined and conditioned by white supremacy of what we should be as Black people over generations, we tend to project that onto other Black people. So that includes style, speech, aesthetic, clothes, and personality, unless a specific aesthetic, there we go, is trending, like the alt Black girl vibe, you know, like Willow Smith. Now it's trending, it's, oh my god, yeah, it's in, but you know, unless it's trending, we don't see it as an extension or embodiment of Blackness. A good example of this would be growing up. You might have heard, if you're a type of Black person that heard, you talk white because you don't understand certain euphemisms. Like I know for myself, that's what I heard most growing up. Or you talk white, or you talk like a white person, first of all, or you sound white. What? So I sound the color. 2 + 2 is equaling 14, is it? I see. Because how? So I don't know what. Remember what was like the popular term that came out in middle school? Where everybody was calling everybody ratchet. That was like the thing in like middle school. So like 2012, 2013. And I heard that some kids at my church, going to like an all Black church at the time, and I heard that, I was like, what does that mean? And they were like kind of like laughing, like, how she ain't Black. Like, what? Because I asked a question, because I don't know what this new term is. Now it's pushing P. If anyone knows what that means, please let me know. It could be a race thing or age thing, but I can't keep up with y'all. I don't, but I'm still not Black, because I'm pretty sure my appearance says otherwise. I'm pretty sure my heritage says otherwise, but okay. Overall, our Blackness is subjective. Oh, let me say that again. If our Blackness is subjective, then our excellence will be scrutinized as limited as well. If we can't even agree that being Black is everything and anything under the sun, and that even that in and of itself is trending, right? Like, oh, being Black is everything, and being Black can be anything, it's all inclusive, whatever. But we say that, but then still limit in I don't want to say ostracize, but form cliques of, oh, she's Black but she's not Black, or that's not what Black people do, and that's not, and we just have to work on that. I think that's more of a unity thing. But if our identity as Black people are being, if we can't even come to a consensus about our identity as a Black people, forget what white people think, just amongst Black people, then our excellence, what is deemed then Black excellent, will be scrutinized and limited as well. The problematic phenomenon of modern day Black firsts are exactly what they sound. The first Black person to do such and such, be such and such. So for a Black person to achieve something new in this day shows that we are not so far removed from slavery. The fact that there are still barriers that still need to be broken further exacerbates the burden of Black excellence. We still need to push and toil tirelessly to achieve the same opportunities, and putting so much pressure on ourselves because white supremacy does not allow our Blackness to be sufficient validation, unlike some people. And even when we do achieve the same opportunities, we are told that we were awarded as such due to tokenism, which then creates a crabs in the barrel mentality where there can only be only one of us can be the superstar or to be the Black person in this capacity. We have to then be excellent to be accepted, while others have the privilege of just being okay. The okay of others amounts to same reward as our best. I'm going to say that again. The okay of others amounts to same reward or awards as our best. You hear it all the time as a Black person. You gotta do twice as much to get the same opportunities as them. And I used to think of it as a flex, but it's not the flex I thought it was. Because if my super best, I'm putting in work, I'm putting in all these hours, I'm putting in all this time to get the same opportunity as a non-black or white colleague who did not put in, well, I'm gonna say as a white colleague for now, who did not put in the same amount of effort, really lends me to believe is black excellence a ploy of systemic racism? Because I'm working myself to the bone and they barely lift a finger, and I'm barely getting in the same position as my white counterparts, and they're just, it wasn't even nothing, they're just flying by. This is very tiring. Ah yes, the burden of it all. The burden of it all. You know, it's exhausting to be a black person in America, because even if you're not dealing with direct racism daily, you have to deal with constant microaggressions. Let's just stop at microaggressions. I've never experienced just aggressive racism, like someone calling me a nigga, or I've never experienced or being like excluded or because of race, not that I'm aware of at least. But microaggressions, the number one microaggression that I've heard to this date, to date is, you're so eloquent, you speak so well, oh wow, you talk very well, you're very polite. Do they expect me to just pull down my pants in public and shake my booty and scream? I remember, what did my mom say when I was younger? She was at this grocery store. She was at a grocery store, and maybe I was like 2 or 3, and I was 3. You know, at 3 years old, hopefully you can talk. Like you know words by 3. You know, mama, dada, I want. You know how to say things. And there was this white lady like, oh wow, she's so cute. And she can talk. And my mom, you haven't met Miss Angela East, but she's a different kind of black woman. For a lot of reasons, but she's a different kind. She's not a woman to be crossed or trifled with. So my mom politely turns around and she's like, yes, oh my god, yes she can. And she can climb trees, and she can run, and she can walk, and she can blink. And the white lady just took her shopping cart and she then pushed that thing around and went the other way. Because I'm 3, hopefully I know some words by then. Why are you shocked? So microaggressions. And then the pain, you have to deal with that. So if you're a black person in America, at least at one point in your life, you've dealt with microaggressions in some way, shape, or form. And then you have to deal with the pain of seeing your people murdered with zero justice. It could be shot in 4K that said black person was executed, and the person who did the execution, the murderer, right there in 4K, and you could bring that to a court, and you could bring that to a jury, and they could still say, I don't know, we still need more evidence. To say it's exhausting is putting it in the least. Like, to say it's exhausting, it's no kidding. We are constantly fighting for our cause and the causes of others, even if they don't fight for ours, which is exhausting. Excuse me. So it's very exhausting to fight for, and just to go on that point for a minute, it's so exhausting, especially black women. We go to bat for everyone and everybody, but that's not reciprocated towards us. And because we know what oppression feels like, we understand, that's why we do it. But then when it comes to us, it's like, ooh, yeah. You might have a few allies here and there, but nobody supports a cause like black people. So on top of all of that, we then have to be excellent. Yes, on top of all of what I said, we still have to be the best of the best. So personal experience. Okay, so if you're new to my channel, hi, by the way. I went to college 2017 as a freshman with fourth stage cancer, and I still put so much pressure on myself in the name of Black excellence. I'm not kidding. I'm not saying this for this channel. I'm saying it because I'm like, I have to do right by my ancestors. I have to make them proud. I have to make God proud. I have to do so much. And when I was taking Bio 1107, which at UConn is Intro to Bio, it was so hard. It was so hard. I mean, I looked in the lecture hall of maybe a little over 400 kids. I saw maybe 5 Black people, 6, myself included, of 400. There was not that many. And I'm not talking people of color, because there were a lot of people of color. I'm not including Black people and people of color. I'm just speaking Black people, maybe 6. And I put so much pressure on myself to be the best, to do, and I had cancer. Like, I'm putting all this pressure to get A's, and I was doing that at my own peril. Like, I was not eating, I was not sleeping, I was not taking my meds. I did this and ran my health to the ground so much that I had to stay home. That the following semester I only took 1 class. So we should be pushing our people or steering our people in the direction, especially our youth, to do their best, not to try and outdo others, especially their Black counterparts. That should be the goal, not to do the best, but just to be the best version of you. Do your best work. But as in Black excellence, it kind of implies that your best is not good enough, because you have to, even if your best is not more than everybody else, then it's not true Black excellence, which then creates a burden, because we have to then push ourselves. Other people, they don't have that same problem. If we're not excellent, we're not good enough. So our Black excellence is basically, our worth is tied to our productivity, which, if you think about it, is kind of like during slavery. There was no rest, there was no lunch break, there was no little, how everybody take a nap and resume work. Their worth was their productivity. They were sold based off how much work they could produce. I don't want Black excellence. Why can't excellence mean taking a nap because I sent 1 email and I'm tired, so I'm taking a nap? Because the fact that I'm even alive, the fact that any Black person is even alive is a testament to our excellence. Because who would have thought our ancestors would have even imagined us just being Black and thriving? Isn't that excellent, just to be a Black person, going to the grocery store, getting some food, cooking it, enjoying life, being carefree? Why can't that be excellent? I'm confused. I don't want to deal with the burden of having to push myself to be better than. I just want to do my best work. And I think that's what we should strive to do as a people. Just to be the best version of ourselves. So, Black excellence is a byproduct of white supremacy. I'm going to walk you through something, and you can draw some conclusions on your own, or not. But imagine having a culture, an established way of life, and then everything you've known and built gets ripped from you in an instant because you've been kidnapped by loathsome, barbaric creatures. Then those same barbaric creatures separate you from your families, rape and beat you, man, woman, and child, strip your identity, and, generally torture you. Yet despite all you've endured, you hold on to remnants of your culture and pass it down to your descendants, who then eventually build a life in the land of their captivity. Communities, businesses, banks, grocery stores, and more, which get burned to the ground. And even then, you witness a brand new wave of pioneers from your people who created reform, art, literature, inventions, and more. Some derive from their pure genius and others as a result of their pain. Then you continue to witness more and more pioneers from your people going against the odds again and again, despite those who have been killed for their genius. In this, excellence is a means of preservation, holding on to remnants of a culture and a proud legacy of a proud people that was intended and still intended to die, but cannot. This excellence is immortalized, even if it is a welcomed, indirect manifestation of captivity. Just leave you with a little something to think about before we say things and not know the meaning or not understand the full implications of what we're saying. Also, if you're out there, person who wrote the article, sorry I messed up your name. I hope I didn't. And it's a great article, even if you wrote it for a class. Still fire article. Alright, I'm gonna end this video here. And thank you so much for watching. I hope some part of this video resonated with you, because this is an extension of me just sitting down and thinking how I don't want to be excellent. If excellence means working myself into the ground, I want to do my best, because my best is good enough. Okay? So, I love you, Jackie loves you, and we'll see you in the next video.